There is good news for displaced homeowners who lost their home through a foreclosure or a short sale. The Federal Housing Administration's just announced a program that waives the 3-year waiting period before they can qualify for a new loan. So what's this going to mean for buyers and sellers right here in our market? Week News real estate expert Denny Grimes is in this morning. This sounds like a very potentially helpful program for Southwest Florida, I'd say in particular.
I think this is probably the best news we've had from the federal government in a long time, that this program actually works as it's designed to do. And basically, the FHA has come out with a program which is called Back to Work Extenuating Circumstances. And what is the whole idea of it is what they're doing is lowering the underwriting standards for people that have lost their home through foreclosure, bankruptcy, short sale because of an economic event.
You call these good people with bad events to make them good again.
That's right, and there's a lot of good people that have gone through this, you know. So what they've done is they've basically lowered the waiting time from a typical 3-year period to a 1-year period. So once you get through the event, if you can kind of go through a couple little hoops, and there's some hoops you have to go through, you can qualify back to home ownership in just 1 year after one of those significant events.
We know how many people had to move into renting after they lost their home because they lost their job. So tell me about the requirements. How do you get into this?
Well, first of all, you have to prove that your economic event that caused you to lose your home was caused by at least a 20% drop in income. Now, that won't be hard to do because obviously if you lose your job or your spouse, divorce, medical, so that's number one. And once you prove that you've had a loss of income, then you have to basically go and say that, hey, listen, I had good credit up until that time. I was paying my bills, things were hunky-dory, and then the event happened, which caused me to lose the home.
Okay.
That's number two. Then you have to basically prove that you are back on your feet, you've got your income back up, and you're continuing to pay your bills. And so basically that hiccup is explained away by the economic event. And if you can do that, go through a little bit of credit counseling, you can qualify for a new FHA loan and borrow as much as almost put down 3.5% and go back into home ownership in just a year.
So as long as you're good on both sides of whatever it was that disrupted your life, you may have a good chance here. And this really has implications if you're buying, selling, and again, if you're renting.
Right. For the sellers, number one, sellers have to understand this is going to be good news for them if they're selling with equity sellers, because it may put more buyers back in the market. That'll be good. And this is really going to affect the under $300,000 price range predominantly. Secondly, for sellers, there are sellers out there right now that basically are still going through that economic event. They don't know what to do. They want a short sale, but they're afraid. Now's the time to step in and bite the bullet and get that over with, because you can be cured of this whole thing if you qualify for this program, because it's going to go on now for almost 2 years, to be back into home ownership within a year. The buyers out there need to take a note, because this is going to add more buyers to already a crowded buyer pool. So if buyers out there taking their time, this is going to put a little upward pressure on demand and maybe prices. And if you're a renter and you're renting right now because of an economic event, look into this program. Email me at denny@dennygrimes.com, Google HUD Back to Work program, and get the specifics and take advantage of this program, because this is probably going to change a lot of people's lives here in Southwest Florida.
And you mentioned that sort of $300,000 and under. That's primarily where you think most of these buyers will fall, but that's good for our market.
That is the bread and butter of our market.
Yeah, so hopefully we can help some people out. It's good to know. Look it up, or email Denny and see if he can help you out as well. Coming right back, stay with us. Some tips that'll save you money when we return.